Hey everybody, Jay Klein, Photog Travels. Although I am not in the RV on this journey, I took a plane out here to see my mom. It is Friday for you Christians and Catholics. It's Good Friday for all you Jews out there. Happy Passover. Happy Pesach. So I am in Northport. My mom lives in Fort Salonga, which is right next to Northport. One of the things I love about Northport is it's, kind of that old fishing town feel. So I'm going to switch the camera around and take you for a walk down one of my favorite piers, where you may have seen some of the photos that I've taken that is absolutely gorgeous. So let's go on a journey. For those of you who are not lucky enough to see this. Now, some of you might say it's a cloudy, gloomy day, Jake. Why are you doing this today? Because I think when it comes to seaports, cloudy, gloomy days are part of the attraction. I don't know. Maybe that's the male machismo in me, but there's something about the cold, windy, cloudy day that just reminds me of being on a boat and fishing and the life on the sea, I guess. It's not always beautiful sunshine. In any case, hey Stephen, hey Howard, hey Trevor, Lenny, and Kurt. So as I said, I'm in Northport, New York. This is one of the many piers. This is the main pier attached to the town, which conveniently, like all small town USA, their main street is called Main Street. I'm going to pan to the right now towards the town. How cold is it? I'm just wearing a thin jacket and I'm a little brisk, so probably 48, 51, somewhere in there. With the breeze, it's probably about 40. I'm definitely getting a little bit of a chill. To the right is this beautiful public park that is attached to the pier and goes into the town. As I pan slowly, you see that building right there, that little outdoor building. They redid that recently, and what happens from time to time in the summer is these wonderful bands come out. And by bands, I mean big bands, not rock bands. They come out and jam, and this whole thing gets just packed with hundreds of people, which is pretty cool. They have outdoor concerts. As you can see, there's a boat town, so a lot of boats are still winterized. So at the very end of the pier, they have this lovely little area where you'll see everything from families to couples hanging out. And if you've ever seen any of my pictures from Northport on the pier with the beautiful background, this is where I'm taking those pictures at the end of the pier here, because you really get great shots with the water and the clouds and everything in the background. Hi, Cynthia. I hope things are going a little better for you today in your world. So yeah, Howard, it's a little chilly. I'll be honest. But not too bad. It reminds me of... Yeah, I've been to... Well, I haven't been to Waterford, but I've definitely been to Connecticut. I'm originally from New Jersey, so I've been to Connecticut, and Pennsylvania, but definitely a lot of these little ocean towns, these little seaports, are very similar. Similar looks, similar smells, even the construction. thing I love about Long Island is such a variation of carpentry, of house building. I mean, you get everything from, you know, antique 1940s Dutch to English to, I don't know, you name it. Eclectically, just some of the most insane looking houses, and I mean that in a good way. Bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good. Little DJ pun there. Yeah, but eventually Facebook or social media will come up with a way of being able to smell as well. Get that ocean, that seaport smell. Because as you know, or those of you who've been around a bit, every seaport has a different smell. Every ocean has a different smell. Different areas of oceans, you know, some have more pungent fishy smell. Some you can almost, I know this may sound weird, but you can smell the sand. It smells differently. I don't know. And then, as you can see that it's all wet out, it obviously rained overnight. And that brings out different smells. I noticed growing up in New Jersey, it was really great when it would rain. It would just bring out all kinds of wonderful smells. And then when I moved to Vegas and it would rain, it would bring out all the pungent, yucky, nasty smells. It really wasn't the same, you know, probably because there's not as much green and it's all just desert, but definitely a big difference. Alright, so now I'm walking towards the main street. I'm just going to take you for a short walk on Main Street because I got to get back to the house and help my mom get ready for Passover dinner. This family will be showing up to the house shortly, and it's my job to help her with the cleaning and the preparation. So this is Northport, New York, and it's this beautiful... screw it, I'll go for a little walk with you guys. It's this beautiful little town, seaport town. This is the main street, and then it breaks off into different ones. Alright, who said thanks for the tour? Oh, thank you, Howard. Appreciate that. Jake, I know exactly where you are. There's a wonderful theater. Yes, there is. In fact, they just redid the theater. I was here for Thanksgiving, and it was the grand opening. You were the first drummer there. One of 2 regional theaters on the island. Seymour. Okay. In the fall of 2007. Oh, very cool. Well, I'll go as far as the theater for you, John, so you can see what it looks like now. They completely, well, I don't know about completely redid because I don't remember what it looked like before, but it's renovated and sometimes desert plants have a bad smell. Yeah, deserts, I mean, there's, you know, I'm sure there's books out there on it, but, local fire department. Looking at me like, why is this guy walking around with his cell phone? I'm sure there are books on, you know, that people have written on the different smells that different cities and different parts of the country and the world give off. And if not, maybe I should write one. Okay, which one's the real dog? That one or that one? That one. That one. Hello, puppy. Hi. Hi.
Hi there. How are you today? Good. Hey, listen.
Rachel Ray's cousin Kevin owns... Oh, the theater? Oh, very cool. I did not know that. So here's... let me do a slower pan. You know, you got your classic delicatessen and their shops. This is a town that, even though it's... I love this diner. It's a tight, squeeze little diner. You can barely fit in there. But man, the food is good. Even though it's got your old-timey, you know, buildings and businesses that have been here forever, it's also kind of mixed with the hipster stuff as well. So, this is a dress made out of all sweets. You guys remember those when we were kids? The little the dots, I think they're called, or sweet dots or something like that. I can't remember. And gumballs and gummy bears and lollipops. Isn't that cute? So it's obviously a candy store. That is cute. You know, and then your typical buildings that once were probably a courthouse, now it's a bank. But little pizzerias, and if you like fish food, that place right across the street, I've been told, I'm not a big fish person, but I've been told delicious fish food. And then of course these eclectic little dress shops that have some interesting clothes. It's a cool jean jacket. Art studio. A wine cellar. Fancy schmancy. Oh, I love this place. If you have a house, let me just do a quick walkthrough. You guys are going to love this. So they basically have everything you could possibly want for a house. And the reason Crystal and I have always loved this place is because they have all these really cool sayings. I'm not going to focus on any one saying because... Hello. Because I don't want them in the store to think I'm here to take any ideas. Just kind of showing you all the really cool stores here in Northport and the really nice, friendly people.
How are you?
Let's see, John, I'm going to ask this woman, see, because I know she's been here a long time. Did you know that Rachel Ray's cousin owns the theater?
Oh, no, I didn't.
There you go. Fun fact.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm doing Facebook Live, if you didn't figure that out. For my friends who've never been here. She's like, yeah, whatever, buy something. A couple of ice cream shops. This is new. Restaurant Tequila bar. And I don't know if you heard that noise, but I almost got hit by a car. Nobody quite knows what this is going to be. Another failed art gallery.
No, this wasn't a failed art gallery.
Was it? Oh, okay.
It's a tea place. And
Oh, the Clipper. Oh.
So they can no longer occupy it.
Because why?
Fire.
Ooh.
Right there.
Due to the May 25th fire, temporary location. Oh. And they still haven't done anything with here.
Is that over here?
Yeah.
Where you see
So this is the tap room. Gunther's tap room. Now obviously since I'm not from here I didn't know what this was, but last year I came over and I read a lot of what people had done here, and apparently there was always all these parties. It was a bar, and
whoa, what is this?
what was it? It was more like that. And they're trying to bring it back. Here's some of the bands that have played here.
You doing a live stream?
Yeah.
Could I like troll it?
Sure.
Alright. Hey, how's it going, man?
Take care, buddy. And of course, there's like 3 or 4 of these hardware stores, which you've got to love, you know, where you can get some cool stuff like this for your house. Because, you know, wouldn't that be beautiful on the RV, on PD? The first production there was Smokey Joe. On stage, it was a small production. All right, John, are you Googling all this stuff? Be honest. We're almost at the theater. Yeah, so there's a lot of these eclectic kind of hardware, drugstore where they have a little bit of everything from cards to clothes to, crafts. A few really beautiful jewelry shops. And then, as I kind of said, these kind of hipster-ish clothing stores with a little bit of everything. The Jackie Sean Salon. I love the setup in here. Having all the old, it just looks like a place that Carol Burnett comes to get her hair done. You gotta love that. And then Doc Phineas, Kenneth, if you're watching this store would be something that you would absolutely love. And you could also tell me if any of the stuff is authentic, but it is a what are they calling it? They call it a Colors of the East. Colors of East. Imports from India. Harpo Max, yeah. Organic health food store. Always good to have. Alright, we're getting close to the theater. The old Episcopal church with an aluminum ramp. Okay. Doesn't quite fit the era of the church, but whatever. When you're on a budget, I guess that's the way to go. But I would think aluminum is... So this is La Mancha Gallery. I've had many discussions with them, and they charge an arm and a leg, but I may bring some of my Las Vegas artwork, have it printed on different various types of print, and leave it with them for a showing during my travels out here, probably at the end of the year. But they really charge a lot of money, so I really wouldn't make much of a profit, but it would be nice to have my artwork, if I'm allowed to call my photography artwork, out there, or out here, excuse me. 2018 Best of Long Island Heritage Photo. That's pretty cool. But you gotta love the kid doing a handstand, the brass. This is a family doctor's office, so how cute is it to have that? That's the other thing, is that the houses and the businesses out here, there's no restriction on color. So you get these bright pink and purple houses, and greens and yellows, and I love that. Hey Sandra. Sandra, if you're just joining us, I'm in Northport, New York, close to my mom's house. And I was only going to show a little bit of the pier, but I've now walked everybody through a good portion of the town. Another cool antique shop, although my daughter gets freaked out by dolls like that. When she was little, I started her a doll collection that my dad helped me with, and he would, this is a cool barber shop too. Again, I love the old time feel. Everything about, other than the big screen TV while you're getting your hair cut. You know. Alright. Looks like I'm walking the whole thing. I thought the movie theater was closer. There goes my memory. Another cool art studio. Hello. This is a house I'm very jealous of. It's a photographer's house, and that is her studio. So basically they gutted the downstairs floor to be two main rooms, or three main rooms. Two studio rooms where they've got all the backdrops and lighting, and then the main office where you sign your contract. And of course, every small town has to have their old school fire station, which was established in 1889. And how cool is this? Right next to the police station. This awesome antique, what is it? Custom, is it Ford? Ford. Look at that thing. How cool is that? It's like something out of the Blues Brothers. I know it's not the same car, but and then the loudspeaker in front of the siren. Pull over! That was pretty cool. I like it. And then there's the police station. We're getting closer to the theater, and pretty soon here I'm going to get a text interruption from my mom saying, "Where are you?" Alright, we're getting close to the theater now. So let me pan to the other side because I don't want to play favoritism. Chinese food, Italian cuisine, Allstate insurance. At this side of town, it's more like doctor's offices, orthodontics. There's another studio for performing arts, and a couple of restaurants, and the post office. Alright, John, I'm coming up to the theater right now. It's the John W. I want to say it right. Engeman or Engeman, maybe Engeman, probably Engeman Theater. Does that look right to you? So they got In the Heights and Wizard of Oz coming up. And let me try to pan so you can. Let me step out in the street carefully. All right, John, there we go. That's the furthest I made it in the theater before I got to DJ. Okay, well, here's the inside of the theater. Hi. Your Facebook Live, say hi.
No, freaking me out.
So is it true that Rachel Ray's cousin owns this? Is that the correct? Were we correct on that info or no?
I never heard of such a thing.
No?
Really?
Oh.
Who said that?
John Donovan.
No.
John is a drummer friend of mine, and he was here. Played the drums in the pit for one of the productions.
She's from upstate. People are from upstate. These people are from out here.
I guess somebody new owns it. And this is this the original owner then, or?
Yes.
Oh, so I guess of this. Yeah, theater.
This has been in a few hands.
Oh, it's been
Over 50, 60 years.
Okay.
Been in the current hands for 11.
But they've kept it under the original person's name?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it was the Northport. What was it, movie theater? I think it was just the Northport movie theater. And there's a whole bunch of stuff back in the 40s and 50s.
Okay. Say hi, Facebook.
No, I can be out. I don't look good this early in the morning.
Well, this is one of the things Facebook is good for, though. They're not gathering any information on this other than what I'm showing them. Thank you. So that's pretty much the majority of the town. The drummer there now is just, oh, okay. All right, John. So just for you, I walked a good, I don't know, almost a quarter mile. So when I start losing weight, I guess I'll have to thank you. She either didn't, yeah, possibly. Sometimes people privately own things, and although some of the public knows about it, others don't. I grew up in a little town called Leonia, New Jersey, and one of our, I don't know if you call it claims to fame, but Alan Alda was one of my neighbors. And he would come to the local supermarket all the time and do his shopping there. But I was very surprised to learn years later that a lot of people I went to school with and grew up with didn't know that he lived in the town. I knew for two reasons. Number one, I recognized him when MASH was huge. I recognized him when he was shopping there one day, and I was like, whoa, that's the guy from the show, MASH. And then when I was 10, I had a paper route 2 blocks away, and one of my friends had the paper route that had him on it. And he was sick, and he asked if he had something, I can't remember what the circumstances, something where I had to take over the paper route for like 2 months. And so he became a client of mine in the paper route, one of my stops. So, you're welcome, Howard. Yeah, so it's interesting that sometimes we don't really know famous people live amongst us, or that them or their family own certain things and that we frequent. So here's kind of an interesting name too, Zoot Shoot Photographers by Jennifer Vaca. I hope I'm saying that right, Vaca, or. And I'm going to either assume that that's one of her favorite pictures, or that that's actually her and her family. But I love that type of print. Well, so this is, they're closed right now, otherwise I'd actually take you in there. But how cool would it be to all my photographer friends to be in a port and have this house as your studio? So you could, I don't know if they do, but you could live upstairs and then have the downstairs as your studio. I mean, that's just, to me, that's really cool. I love that idea, that you don't have a building, you have a house as your studio. And then you can keep all your artwork in your giant garage in the back. Yeah. I don't know how they got a picture of me right there, but they did somehow. And again, another one of these really cool old-timey hair salons. So I'm going to walk a little bit faster because, as I said, I got to get back to the house. How old are me? How old are me? How old are you, Jake? Just curious. I'm 50. In August, I turned 50. I was born in 1967. To which some people may go, oh, you're just a puppy. And some people might go, holy shit, Jake, I didn't realize you were that old. Oh, Rockin' Fish. Apparently this is like the place, other than that other restaurant I talked about, that to get seafood. And people come out and sit out here, and it's really beautiful. At nighttime they have all these tiki torches lit that reflect off the building. And as an artist, as a photographer, it's really gorgeous. I've yet to come down here at night and take the pictures that I want, because that's there. So, now we come to Artichoke. If you've ever seen the photos that I post on Facebook from when I come down here and visit, you'll see a lot of almost like steampunk stuff. This is where I get that from. This place is the freaking bomb. if you're into this kind of stuff. I am totally into steampunk or antiques or anything refurbished. If you take something and turn it into a wind chime, like, say 150 butter knives, sure, why not? Drill a hole in them, hang them. I don't know if she'll be cool about me filming inside, so we will take a quick look. Just a number? Yeah, it is just a number. Most people think I'm in my 30s because I think I act and feel that way. I don't really understand how I turned 50, because to me that always sounded old, and I certainly in no way am old. So I guess I was just wrong in my perception. So coming in the store now, before I do any more filming, I'm going to make sure that it's okay with the owner. Are you okay with a Facebook Live?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. For you youngsters out there doing Facebook Lives, when you enter a building, enter somebody's business, ask first. So I'm going to go quickly so that nobody's stealing any ideas. But as I've said to you all, this is one of my favorite stores to visit. And some of the coolest pictures I've taken are in here. And this handsome gentleman is the owner.
How you doing?
Excellent.
There you go.
So there's just, I mean, if somebody were to say, what does this store have? Are you kidding me? What doesn't it have would be my answer. Everything from bags, purses, jewelry, crystals, rocks, soaps, keys. How about some skeleton keys from the 1800s? Sure, why not? Different types of jewelry from, I mean, just crazy. I mean, look at these locks or little pieces of art. I mean, look at a tank. Dave Proctor, that one's for you. I mean, just the coolest stuff. And little books. I mean, don't you love this stuff? How could you not love this stuff? I just love this stuff. Crystal, you remember these? My daughter loves these. I used to have one. Little Bajas. And then, of course, crystals and stones. And this is so cute. Just on old wood. What do you call it? Dead wood? You know, they have all these little cute little sayings like, oh my God, be thankful, heal, happiness, namaste. On just a piece of wood. I mean, that's so cool. Confidence. Always remember. I'm not going to do any more because I don't want anybody stealing ideas. And scarves. Oh, lots and lots of scarves. And I'm not going to do the whole store, but I will tell you it just continues on with cards and friendly local people and wind chimes, and let me just do one more portion. And all of this is in a house. So, you know, the creaky old floors. You know, back in the days when you couldn't sneak out of your house because your mom would hear you because the floors creak. Although I don't think that's the original floors. I wanted to do one more section for my steampunk friends. And of course for Doc Phineas, if you're watching this later on, I'll tag you in it. I remember taking a couple pictures of these and sending them to you, and you were like, "Oh my God, yes, that's from the god so and so, or from the patron," or so. Just a very cool room you could enjoy. Sage for my witches out there, and wizards. Sorry. There are different types of candles. Hey, Ann Martinez, if you're watching this, how would this be as a picture frame? Yes, please. Isn't that cool? I'm actually digging the music in the background too. I love it. That's cute. All right. Thank you. Oh, you're out here. Thank you. So yeah, tell me that is not a cool business. So if you're ever in Northport, New York, come check out Artichoke. Tell them Jake sent you. Won't get you a discount, but it'd be nice if they knew that I'm sharing the love. Yeah. How about we go back to the 60s and get funky? Let's totally go back to the 60s and get funky. What? I love that dress. 60s, they were wearing them again in the 70s. Just crazy colors and patterns.
I feel like nobody talks about it anymore. It used to be something that everyone talked
because
about.
they
I have no idea what they're talking about. This is the art gallery that I was talking about that I may do a showing at, and as you can see, it's pretty fancy. But also pretty expensive. Oh. I get about 12% profit after they sell it. Ouch. That's like New York City prices. Ouch. Oh well. Just so you guys know, when you go out to an art gallery and buy a piece of art, and I'm not saying that that's not the way to do it, because please do and support your local artists, but if you go directly to the artist is making the profit. If you go through a gallery, the gallery is making the profit. But without art galleries, most people's work would never get seen. So you take out of that what you like. So definitely go to art galleries, and if you see something you like, purchase it. Just so you know, the artist is not getting that much that you think. Did I just say that? And it's permanently on the internet? I hope that doesn't come back to bite me, like years from now when I'm famous. God willing. The famous part. Jewelry collection. Again, a lot of retro. Fresh corn on the cob oysters. Of course. Who doesn't want corn on the cob oysters? Gary. Hey, Gary. Hey, Gary, here's a fun fact for you. My stepdad, not really fun, but my stepdad is suffering from dementia, which is getting worse and worse. Which means there's a lot of things he doesn't remember. But for some reason, he remembers certain people and the role they play in other people's lives. So one of the things that he asks me is how my daughter is doing. And then all of a sudden last night he says, and by the way, how's everything going with Gary? You still doing a lot of work with him? Which my mom, I thought was interesting, that of all the people he could remember, you know, many grandkids, many kids, many family members, that one of the things he had no problem remembering was your name, and that I do work for and with you. So there you go. I guess you're hard for anybody to forget. Hey, Tracy. In memory of the men of Northport who made the supreme sacrifice in World War II, 1941 to 1945. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice. So they have these, as most small towns do, they have these little memorials. Here's another one. Anchor with a flag. And the Anchor of Hope from the American Legion, dedicated to the men and women who are missing in action in the military service of their country. Their memory will live in our hearts forever. Northport, America. This was put there in '99. It's a nice dedication. Sure, I'll get run over. And apparently somebody lost their scarf. So I thought a good way for them to find it would be to tie it onto it, which is actually smart, because if somebody comes back, they're going to be like, I wonder if I can find my scarf. Oh, there it is, tied to a pole. And there you go. If you're wondering how many churches there are, houses of worship, you've got First Church of Christ, St. Paul's, Trinity, First Presbyterian, and St. Philip, or Philippe. That's kind of cool. Good to know. And here we are back at the port. Getting back to my rental car. So, I will flip the camera around after I sniffle to make sure I don't look weird. And say to you all, I hope you enjoyed this little journey. I might secretly do a Facebook Live tonight during Passover, so you guys can get a view into our family's version of Passover, which is a much more relaxed religiously version of it. We sing a few of the songs, say a few of the prayers, do a few of the things, but it's kind of more like Thanksgiving for us anyway. And as the kids get older, it becomes not as fun. The songs are not as fun. The songs are really fun when you're a kid. But in any case, that was my ponytail flapping in the breeze, which my mom trimmed 1.5 inches off of because it was dead. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your Good Friday and enjoy your Passover. And if you're not religious at all,